How much does Claude 4 overcomplicate the simplest of tasks? I have a Zotero library, and when the items from the library are being retrieved, the archive ID being assigned to each item is actually the Zotero ID, not the correct archive ID. So I ask Claude to fix this issue. It examines all the files, but then it doesn't actually give me a clear answer on what the issue is or how it needs to be fixed. So I ask it, okay, well, tell me what changes are required and estimated length. It tells me that these files have to be updated, and the first file would require 15 to 25 lines. The second file would require 10 to 15 lines of changes, and it adds a fallback to the Zotero ID if no archive ID is found. Now, this makes absolutely no sense. Why would you want to assign the wrong ID to a field instead of just leaving that field empty? So I ask it, does it make sense to fall back to item.key if no archive ID is found? Right? So it agrees, right? Then it gives you this massively overcomplicated reply and another massively overcomplicated solution, which is filter out all of the non-archive items and a mixed content support. But the obvious solution, the simplest solution, is to just leave those records which don't have an archive ID with an empty field in the archive ID field. I have to point this out to Claude 4. Yes, you're absolutely right. That's much simpler and cleaner. Again, another massively overcomplicated, over bureaucratic response. And it says 10 lines are required, 10 lines are required, 25 lines. And here it's saying that an helper function is needed, extract archive ID. Now, I ask it, why do you need a dedicated helper function to extract archive IDs from Zotero metadata? But the metadata is just a record. It will have a field which will be archive ID field. All it has to do is read that. And then it realizes that, hey, this can be done inline. And another overly bureaucratic response just to tell me that only two lines need to be changed across two files. So understandably, at this point, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Two fucking lines, and you suggested 25 lines instead of an extra helper function instead of just the two-line change. This is what Claude 4 does for the simplest of problems. And so working with it is a constant stressful issue. Now, I don't know who the fuck in Anthropic decided that Claude 4 needs to be such a bureaucratic nightmare. But I mean, seriously, somebody needs to be fired.